Hey, it's Ron McLean from Rogers Hometown Hockey and Hockey Night in Canada, and I just want to tell you about something great happening over the holidays here in Hamilton. The OHL Bulldogs have always done a great job providing great eats for the kids in school. For a lot of the children, it's what really keeps them healthy, it's what keeps them in school, and obviously that creates for them a huge opportunity. But it goes without saying, because of the pandemic, everything's a little trickier, and one of the great solutions, our friends at First Ontario and of course the Bulldogs themselves have an epic 50-50 raffle, and we're taking it online. So it's very simple. Go to bulldogs5050.com, and with our split, we'll be able to bring safely packaged great eats to the kids. Look, when the game is on the line or the game's online, if it's 50-50, I trust the Hamilton Bulldogs, and I know you will too. So let's do our part and ensure a healthy appetite.
Welcome to another edition of Bulldogs Live, catching up with the second captain in Bulldogs history. He's a two-time OHL champion. He's one of the top prospects with the Chicago Blackhawks. He is Mackenzie Entwistle. So great to have you on, Mac, and it's been a long time coming for this. And the holiday season just felt like the right time to bring the former captain back.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, Reader. It's good to chat up and see what you've been up to. I'm excited to do this.
So, I mean, the first question I got for you is probably the easiest one of the whole show. How have you been?
Good. You know what? It's obviously through these times, it's been tough for people, and you know, for us not being able to play hockey and do what we love has been even tougher. But for me, I mean, I've been I've been kind of going from my parents have a place up north, and I've been going up there and coming back here. I've been skating, training, and you know, that's really all we've been doing. It's kind of boring, but you know, hopefully we can go back and play soon. And you know, I'm excited.
I got to say hello to your parents, because two of the nicest people I've ever had the opportunity to meet. From the time that you and Stromer got drafted, your families reached out to me from the very beginning and continue to reach out just once in a while to chat, and they're always on my social media. So I can't say enough about the Strome family, the Entwistle family, and what they've meant to me over the time that you guys have been around the team. So thanks to them, and hello and Merry Christmas to them. It's got to be great to have family so interested in everything you're doing, Mac, because anytime you were on the ice, they were there.
Yeah, it was, you know, my parents are great people. They supported me through you know, everything, and they from when I was little, driving me from Georgetown to Toronto every single day to play on the Marlies, and you know, like same with Stromer. You know, I played with him growing up as well, which I'm sure most people know. But you know, they've been good. My sister also, and like you said, I was fortunate enough to get drafted to Hamilton, and it was really close to home growing up in Georgetown. So you know, we were talking earlier. I was saying during the playoffs, I had, you know, close to 25 people in the stands every single night, from my grandma to my cousins to, you know, friends, high school friends. And, you know, it was so much fun to play so close to home and with my family supporting me and friends.
Oh, absolutely. And that's something that you touch on, is everybody knows the story by now that you and Matt Strome were almost a package deal coming to the Bulldogs. So lucky to get you both in the spots that the team did. But what was it like growing up with Matt Strome? Because I'm sure that would have been a whole heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it was great, and like you said, it made it a lot easier for me to come to Hamilton with Matt. I was playing with him for I think it was six or 7 years with the 6 years, I think, with the Marlies. And you know, coming over, both getting drafted to Hamilton, so close to home. You know, our families knew each other well, and you know, obviously I knew Matt playing with him. I played on a line with him in minor hockey, and then slowly growing up together and being able to you know, sort of grow from not being a playoff team and our 16-year-old year to slowly growing up and winning the championship together. It was definitely, you know, tons of memories I'll never forget, and it was definitely fun having him around for sure.
One of the crazy things about it too is that you look at the history of the Bulldogs, and in the first 5 years of the team, you guys in the first draft, number 8, number 40, and then in the 2019 draft, the Bulldogs pick up Ryan Winterton and Lawson Shirk, number 8 and number 40. Goal-scoring winger, 200-foot center, Gee, where have we heard this story before? Did you guys know that at all when that happened for Shirk and Winterton? And was that something that you guys kind of were joking around with them at all about?
Yeah, actually, that's funny you bring that up. I still follow. Obviously, I still follow Hamilton really closely. I pay attention to all their draft picks, all the players, and I try to watch as many games when I can during the season when we're not on the road or whatever. It's nice to throw your laptop open and put the game on and just watch. Some of these kids grow up and develop into star players in the NHL. Hopefully one day, but we've been skating. I've been skating with Shirk a couple times during the summer, so I got to talk to him. He actually grew up in Georgetown as well, so not too close from where I was living and where I grew up. So we've had some memories, and we've been talking about our little small town Georgetown. But no, he's a great player. He's gonna be a star probably in the NHL for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I looked at him at 16 years old, and the way he skates, I mean, the size, the way he skates, the advanced mind for the game, it really, and I know it hit a lot of fans in Hamilton that, boy, we're looking at another guy who could be like Mackenzie Entwistle, not to put too much pressure on Lawson Shirk, but do you see it yourself? There's a lot of comparison there between you and Lawson?
Yeah, of course. He's a big body, especially for how young he is, and he protects the puck well. He can move, and the sky's the limit for him. He just keeps working hard, and I've seen it. I've seen it on the ice. He's got the skill. He's got everything. So just keep working hard, and I'm sure he's got a bright future ahead of him for sure.
I mean, you've seen everything with the Hamilton Bulldogs from the very beginning when you came in the door, and now you look back at your time with the team, and I know obviously the 2018 championship stands out above all, but when you look back and you see all the players that you played with, and is there anybody that really stands out to you as somebody that you were so happy to see move on to the next level, or maybe like a Kaliev that's just gone from that 16-year-old into one of the elite players in the league?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously, like you said, there's a bunch of guys and a bunch of teammates that, I love and I still talk to this day. I still keep in touch, whether it's playing Xbox, texting, FaceTime, whatever, Instagram, all the social medias now. But, the one guy that I think as soon as you were asking me that question that popped into my mind was Nicky Petty. He was there my first couple of years in Hamilton, and as a 16-year-old, you're kind of nervous going in, and I didn't really know too many guys, and he was one of the guys that took me and Stromer under his wing. He would, after practice, he'd stick out there with us and work on little things, and then he would drive us home because we didn't have our cars, and we couldn't drive. He would drive us home back to our billet houses, and then he would take us for dinner, and he really kind of just made me and Stromer feel really comfortable, and it really grew me as a person and as a player, just looking up to that guy, and if he could do that, then hopefully one day down the road I could do that for some similar players. So that's kind of one guy. And then obviously he went out and played in Sweden and had a great couple of years there. And I've actually been skating with him too back in Hamilton. We've got a good little pro group together, and that's probably one guy that I would say really stuck out to me for sure.
Yeah, a great player. A number of times watching him do his thing, and you just be in awe of the speed and the skill that he put together. And we talked about it a little bit before we were chatting, and that 2018 Bulldogs team and the depth of it. And you talk about teams that you might never see put together again. And obviously, we hope that we're on the verge of another championship in Hamilton, but take a step back in time, because that playoff run, if you just take a snapshot of time with that team, at any one moment, you could have Robert Thomas centering a line that would have Will Bitton and Brandon Sagan. You'd have Ryan Moore centering a line with Nick Camano and Marion Studenic. You or Matt Strome centering a line with Isaac Nurse. And then Arthur Kaliev, Ben Garrigan, and Owen Burnell. And you can swap players around. On the back end, you got Justin Lemke, Riley Stillman, Nick Mattinen, Ben Gleason, Connor Walters, Jack Hanley. Cade Landry was the number 7 on that team, and he holds the single-season record for points by a defenseman for the Dogs, and Caden Fulcher in net. I just, off the top of my head, I can't think of another junior team I've ever seen that was that deep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's what made it so fun. It made it so fun knowing that, I think oftentimes you see in junior leagues that you get, you have one good line, maybe two, 1.5 good lines, and you kind of rely on those guys every single night to try to get you goals, to try to win you hockey games, really. And, our 2018 team was, if Robbie Thomas or someone was having a bad game, we had 5 other guys that would step up and like you said, the D-man. You look at that lineup and there really wasn't many holes there. If there was any, our fourth line was like a third line or second line on many OHL teams, and that's what made it so fun. We could go out and each guy trusted each other, trusted their skill, and it made it fun to play and be a part of that group was, memories and things that I'll never forget in my life for sure.
Did anybody predict in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final that it would be Connor Walters that would score the goal to send the Bulldogs to the OHL Finals?
No, honestly, definitely not. If you put some money on that, you probably win a lot for sure. But no, Wally's a great guy, and he had a good year at Brock and just signed a pro deal in the East Coast League. So he's moving on up, and he's an awesome guy, an awesome teammate, and someone that I'll definitely keep in touch with for the rest of my life for sure.
I really thought that pair was so underrated, Walters and Hanley. Unless you were around the team every day, I just don't think you got the idea of how much they did for the group, because those two guys, you could put them on against any line in the league and they were going to give you good, solid, hard minutes, and it was going to be miserable to play against the two of them.
Yeah, you know what, you're right about that, because there's, you look at, you look at all the top Sioux lines, all the top players in the Sioux when we played them. We had, Lemke and Stillman that would shut down their first line, and then you come back and their second line had whether it be Frost, it had Hayden, it had Kachuk, they had a whole bunch of firepower up front, and Lemmer and Stilley really did a good job shutting that top line down, and then that second line of them was equally or if not better than that first line. So. And that was Jacko and Wally's job, and they did an awesome job. They were big bodies, and they knew their role. They just they get the puck, and it's funny. Grudes would always say, "Just get Jacko, Wally, just get the puck to the Italians" from that movie. So he would, and that's what they did. They go back, they pass it up, and then they just knew their role. They were unbelievable, and they got the job done every single night. There were two guys that you could really trust.
Absolutely. All right. We know the fans absolutely love you in Hamilton. We got a bunch coming in. Stephanie Waite says you're not going to find anyone who cheers louder than Mackenzie's mom. That is true. That is a very true point. Jeremy Lacroix says, shout out to Twisty. We miss you and the Hammer.
Yeah, miss you guys too. Miss you guys too, for sure.
Chris Verkinen says, Joe says, hi, Twisty.
How's it going, Chris?
Sunik says, hey, Mac, what was the feeling when Justin Lemke lifted that cup and everybody on the team jumped on him?
Yeah, you know what? It was being there, being part of that team, and Lemmer lifting that cup up, and he took it from Dave Branch and lifted it. It was, I still watch it to this day, and I still get chills. I still get chills down my back. It was something, you work so hard for years and years and years, and then finally that end picture's right there, and you get to lift it and you get to jump, and it's still, even thinking about it, talking about it, still gives me chills. And I'm just running through that memory in my head right now. It was awesome for sure.
When I had Lemmer on, I know you said you were watching it, and when I asked him about what was that feeling, he said, I was really just trying to rip that thing away from David Branch. Not that he didn't like David Branch, but he just wanted to take that in turn. Yeah.
I mean, you work so hard, and then finally you get it, and it's there, and you just want it. You just want to keep it, and finally we got to lift it and celebrate, and not only with the team, but then you have the whole sold out First Ontario Center, and it was you could celebrate with all the fans of Hamilton too. It was awesome.
Well, Mackenzie, before we move forward to what's coming up for you, I found some video on YouTube, and I think we ought to go back in time. I think it's about 3 minutes of the best of the 2018 playoffs. So Let's sit back and enjoy.
Now on to Ryan Moore. Moore settles it across. Camano steps in to his backhand, turns in front, and scores! Nick Camano drags it through Jeremy Helbig. It's a 1-0 Bulldogs lead.
You guys back, especially 4-on-4. Breakaway the other way. It's Brandon Sagen coming in. He scores!
The series that he played in. Will Bitton edges his way loose past Ligurier to the forehand and scores! Will Bitton puts it home on the breakaway. It's a 3-1 Bulldogs lead.
Pinching to keep it deep, takes the shoulder but got the puck deep for Boo, walking out, trying to float it off.
And they're going to consider them both happening on the same play, which is why I'm assuming it came to center. As Thomas and Strome, they score! Matt Strome may have just shot the arrow that'll take the Bulldogs to the Eastern Conference Final.
Gets the puck out of his zone. Robert Thomas now across the line. Drop pass to Kaliev. Kaliev into the slot and lost the puck. Gets it back in the side of that. Thomas scores! The Bulldogs answer right back. What a great play by Kaliev to hang on to the puck.
Against Camano, but he may have been on his way down. Now Will Bitton, shorthanded breakaway to the backhand and scores! Take the monkey off the back, young man! Will Bitton with the shorthanded breakaway goal makes it 3-0. Felleber brings it in. Kevin Ball got run over by Studenic, but Jimilevsky's loose, and oh! Mackenzie Entwistle skates through. On to Isaac Nurse, who's into the forehand and scores! Isaac Nurse! The Bulldogs win it in overtime! The Hamilton boy makes good in game one!
We're so used to playing with the puck. Walking down Main Street, Sambrook, couple of chances. Oh, what a couple of great saves!
Now finding open ice, Gleason steps right in, around the defender to the forehand. Oh, what a goal! Ben Gleason goes 200 feet to make it 2-1 Bulldogs.
Singer fighting at center, gets it to Miletich, 2-on-1 to Akil Thomas, back to Miletich. Oh, what a brilliant save by Fulcher, and he will cover up the rebound. Cade and Fulcher
Will send it ahead. Moore's got a partial break. Here's Ryan Moore going in on goal. Forehand shot, scores! Ryan Moore drew everybody towards him. Wasn't a hard shot.
Gleason laid that for Robert Thomas, who laid it on to Brandon Sagen. Now the puck comes loose. Entwistle steps down. Nice drag and score! Mackenzie Entwistle. What a move! It's 5-0 for the Bulldogs. Yeah, well, now everybody. Sagen on to Stillman. He brings it down for Rob Thomas, who goes through his own feet. Back to Sagen. Oh my goodness gracious! Robert Thomas has the game in the palm of his.
I was a little amped up for that playoff run.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, listening to you talk, this is exciting. I loved it. I loved it. That was an awesome video.
Oh man, and those memories. Yeah, I can still feel being in that building when all that was going on, and my God, it just still, man, that team was unbelievable, and something I don't think anybody who was around that group's ever going to forget.
No, yeah, you look at all those goals; they're all stars. Like Gleason's going end to end, Bitsy's putting the goalie in the corner, like Robbie Thomas is going between his legs. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's fun to watch for sure.
You pretty much went full Datsuk with that drag and in. That was.
Yeah, I had that in me.
All right, a few more questions. Then we're going to hit a quick commercial, and we're going to talk to Mackenzie about what he's got coming up in the next year and down the road. And here's a down the road for you from Troy Islikar, who we know well. Way down the road, do you see yourself in coaching?
Yeah, you know what? I would love to. I love, I run a camp with a couple guys from actually Shirk ran it with us. Obviously we didn't do it this summer because due to COVID, but we run it in Georgetown. Jason Dickinson, he plays on Dallas with Cammie. And so, I love teaching the little kids and giving back. And I've had the pleasure to be coached by so many amazing coaches over my career. And, for me to give back and I would love to teach some kids and definitely something I'll definitely look forward to in the future for sure.
Dwayne Williams asked, best arenas to play in around the OHL.
Well, you know what? I love playing in. Obviously, I love playing in Hamilton. It was that's an easy one, but for me, obviously London was fun. I don't think I played too many good games in London, but it's obviously a fun rink with all the fans, and it's almost like a little mini NHL rink. Oshawa was fun. I'm trying to think what other ones. I always played well in Flint. I don't know if that's because the team wasn't the greatest while I was in the league or what, but I like playing. I like playing in Flint and against Flint. So, those are probably a couple of my favorite ones.
I think I like Kingston's for announcing just because you get like your own booth, and that's a beautiful new arena they've got up there.
Yeah. Kingston's fun. Kingston's actually a nice rink. I just don't like that the seats are black or gray. So sometimes when you're on the ice and the puck goes in the glass, you can't really see where the puck is, and you kind of get lost sometimes. But that is a nice rink. They've done a great job there. It's a fun rink to play in too.
That's actually a great point that people don't think about when they go to those black or gray seats. That was wow. Yeah. Chris says my Bengals lacrosse kid's favorite lacrosse player turned Bulldog. There you go.
Yeah. I played lacrosse growing up. It was it's a great sport for sure.
And one here, I was going to talk to you about this after the break, but we might as well start it here. What did it feel like to play in the World Juniors with guys like Comtois and others?
Yeah, it was. Growing up as a kid, and I don't know about your family or others watching, but my family during Christmas, that was the World Juniors is like the World Junior Team Canada's playing. All right, let's get on the couch. Let's grab a bag of chips or some crackers and stuff and some dip, and let's watch the game like that. Put the fireplace on like that. That was our family thing, and the trees up, and we cheered Canada on, and ever since a little kid, that was sort of I'm sure every Canadian kid's dream is to wear that jersey and wear that logo on your chest. And I was definitely very fortunate enough to play at the World Juniors. Obviously not the outcome Canada was looking for when I was playing, but it was some memories and an experience that I'll never forget. And I'm excited to watch this year's World Juniors. Hopefully everything works out and it all goes through. But that's definitely it was some memories and friends and coaches and things that'll last a lifetime.
And boy, did you ever earn it to get onto that team. I remember the campaign that we had here in Hamilton, and luckily they listened and you went and earned your spot. So that was awesome to see you pull on the red maple leaf there. Let's go to a quick break. A familiar face to all of us is going to talk about the Bulldogs holiday 50-50.
Hey guys, it's Nick Camano here. Make sure you guys go and support the Hamilton Bulldogs Foundation 50-50 early bird draw, where you have a chance to win a signed Nick Camano Tiger Cats jersey. Have a happy holidays and everyone stay safe. Thanks guys.
A signed Nick Camano Ticats jersey. There's one of Mackenzie Entwistle as well, December the 16th. That is the early bird draw that is taking place. I believe that is tomorrow, and that is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, when you talk about a perfect Christmas gift for a Bulldog fan, who wouldn't want to find an autographed Mackenzie Entwistle or Nick Camano limited edition under the tree? That I think I'm going to be in on that myself. The holiday 50-50, I'm not even sure if I'm eligible to win, but I'm certainly going to put some money into this. The holiday 50-50 in support of the Bulldogs Foundation, $10 for 5 tickets, $20 for 20 tickets, or $50 for 100 tickets. That one is your best shot at pulling out as a winner on this one. 3 early bird prizes. One's already been decided. 2 more tomorrow. Get in at Bulldogs5050.com. And Mackenzie, I think either a jersey of yourself or Nick Camano, that ought to be going up in a frame somewhere, because when people are going to look back at that 15 years from now, there's going to be a lot of NHL games for either one of those.
Well, hopefully we'll see. But no, that jersey is I love that. When I was playing, that was my favorite jersey to wear. That Ticats jersey was pretty fun, and it was awesome for sure.
I think it's one of the only ones I actually don't have in the studio, to be honest. But
you got a lot there, I see.
Yeah, well, I had to decorate nicely for the studio doing all this from home. But before we get to what's gone on for you and the new jersey for the Hamilton Bulldogs, we got a nice video to throw about that. But when you look at what you've accomplished to this point, the World Juniors, which, I mean, it had to be just such a thrill to represent Canada, the tournament that everybody looks at as the biggest of the year. You're making your way with the Chicago Blackhawks in the organization. How do you look back at your time from Hamilton to Guelph and now into the professional level?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'd be where I am today without obviously my family, and then the development and the coaching and all the players and staff around me in Hamilton, and then also in Guelph. I think I really grew up as a person and as a player from my 4 years in Hamilton, and then my 1 year and half a year in Guelph. And it's kind of made me the person I am today. And like you said, it was, I've had so many memories, countless. I can't even remember half of them. I was talking to you earlier. It's hard to go back and memorize all these games and all these goals and stuff, because there's just been so many awesome, things and things that have happened not only with me, but with the team. For me, it's been great. The transition from junior to pro was pretty easy for me. It took me a little while to get used to things, the pace of play, and it sounds crazy, but living alone for my first year, having to cook all my meals and little things like that, all the bills you got to pay and stuff. It was definitely a change, and for a kid that's been used to living with billets and stuff in junior, to now going to play pro, that was probably one of the biggest adjustments for me. But once I figured that out, it was smooth sailing from there, and it was a great year for sure.
Now, before we get to what you were just involved with the Bulldogs, a little bit of a collaboration with the Rockford Ice Hogs, because we got some information, and I got to play this because I think it really shows. Mackenzie Entwistle from junior. How about Mackenzie?
Zone rampage, changing things out up front, but they force a turnover and a poke check. They score! Mackenzie Entwistle, his first professional goal off a turnover, and sends it into the back of the net. Rampage D, we're just sitting back looking for the break. Delia up the middle. He's got Dylan Secura. Secura into the offensive zone. Right side for Entwistle. Has some room. Backhander. Scores! Colin Delia might get an assist on this one as he got Dylan Secura. And Secura right side to Mackenzie Entwistle. Puts it into the far corner of Delia. Garrett Mitchell will pick it up from Nick Mutry, left wing side for Mackenzie Entwistle. Entwistle into the zone. Wrist shot, scores! Mackenzie Entwistle with the tally. Makes it 1-0 Ice Hogs with 10:13 to go. The blue line. Carlson a drive right point. That goes wide. Cuts to the middle is Entwistle. Entwistle fires. Pad save. Rebound. Score! Brandon Hagel camped out on top of the crease. And the Ice Hogs make it 2-0 with 3:33 to go in the first.
I think the transition to pro is going pretty well, pal.
Yeah, it was a fun year. It was definitely a fun year. Like I talked about before, had its ups and downs, but once I figured out, once I got comfortable, it was it was fun. It was a great year. I was lucky enough to go to Rockford that had they were a younger team and they really focus on development. Some AHL teams, I guess you could say like the Marlies are focused on winning and winning the Calder Cup, and that's a tough team to play, tough team to crack. And I know you were talking to Morsey about it. I was definitely fortunate enough to be in Rockford, and they have a younger team focused on development, and for me to be able to play a lot my first year was definitely awesome for me.
Now, I've talked to a lot of people that do a lot of work in prospects around the NHL, And there's a lot of people who are very excited about you in terms of your future. And I mean, I've said from the time you arrived in the OHL, you reminded me a lot of Patrice Bergeron. And that's something that I'm starting to hear more and more from people who watch prospects. What have the Blackhawks told you in terms of a plan?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, my goal is to play in the NHL and to play in the NHL as soon as I can. I know that I definitely got to work on some things. I got to develop more as a player, but for me, I think if I'm going to play in the NHL, I'm going to be a third, fourth line guy that it can play against other teams' top lines and be a tough guy to play against. It's sort of similar to a role like Nick Camano plays in Dallas, and just be an energy guy that's hard to play against, and that can also, it's good in the D zone, but can also score some goals. So just try to, like you said, just try to be a 200-foot player, and hopefully that happens one day, whether it's for Chicago or another team.
I mean, with the ages and the way things are going, Charlie Coyle steps up in Boston. Entwistle slides. Oh, I'm sorry. That's that's planning too far down the road. Anyway, you were involved in. I can't help it. You were involved in something with the Bulldogs just recently, and for those that didn't see it back on Friday, the new jersey unveiled. You and Nick Camano were a big part of that. Let's go back and take a look at Project Stealth. Little bit of a change for the Bulldogs, a new look going into 2021. Project Stealth. These things are sharp. And Mac, how big was it for you? Former captain of the team, won the championship with the Bulldogs in 2018, to be able to come back and be one of the faces, along with Nick Camano, of the transition to Project Stealth, and essentially get to hand this legacy onto the young guys that are coming along and trying to follow what you guys did.
Yeah, it was definitely special. I told Cammy, I told some of the guys that were helping us film, I said, I'm coming back to play next year. If we're wearing these, I'm coming back. But no, those are some pretty cool jerseys. And, when they asked me and Cammy to, if we were able to help them out and kind of use us as the models, I said, yeah, of course. I said, I better be receiving one for Christmas, but no, I'm really kidding. But no, it was awesome. Those jerseys are pretty cool. And I think it'll look really good with all the, Hamilton being, a black and yellow, sort of, city. It's going to be pretty cool to see all. Now it's just all black and dark and Project Stealth. So, we'll see. I think it'll be cool when all the guys have the jerseys on and they're all going around and warm up, and the fans all have them on. It'll be fun and it'll be cool to see for sure. I'll definitely be watching.
Absolutely. I was just thinking of Mackenzie Entwistle, Jan Mysak, and Logan Morrison as three centers in the 2021 season. That's a little frightening to think of. Kennedy Reed says, just commenting on how amazing Mac's family is. Back during the Guelph run, I went to every game during the London series, even the games in London, trying to get my jersey signed. And Mac's dad brought me down with the family after Game 7 to get it done for me. This doesn't surprise me at all. If you've ever been around Mac's family and Mac himself, some of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. And that just says it right there. I remember personally after Game 6 against the Sioux, you guys yourself, Matt Strome, Ben Gleason, and Will Bitten insisting that I come down from the stands and onto the ice. And that was something that I'll never forget. I think you guys almost broke my ribs with the hugs. But, it's just something that around you guys, some of the nicest people that I've had the opportunity to be around in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, and I think a lot of people forget, it's not just the players out there that win a championship or win games, or it takes guys like you. It takes guys like Casey and all the front office staff to get people in the stands. Like, it takes a lot of things. We have the easy job. We just go out and play hockey and have fun. And I think a lot of people forget that. So for us to celebrate with someone like you and Troy and all those guys, I think it's something we all have to do for sure.
Having fun, including a couple of years ago when I got a video message from you and Matt Strome imitating me in the booth. That was priceless. I got to put that video up at some point because I think I laughed for about half an hour straight.
Yeah.
This is a cool question coming in. Most hated player to play against in junior, not in terms of dislike, but annoying play style or raw skill.
Oof. There's a couple. I think one player that I would that sticks out to me. Do you remember that big D-man? He's a big Finnish D-man in Kingston.
Emeli Rasanen.
Yeah, Rasanen. Yeah. He was, I think every single time we played him, I think he was like 6'7". He had to have been 220. Yeah, he was tough to play against, but it was fun. Like I remember I always dumping in his corner because you could hit those. The bigger they are, the harder you can hit them, and you could hit those guys and they they're so big that you just kind of bounce off or whatever. So you try to put everything you can into him, and he would kind of like not move. But the odd time, because then once he falls, you're like, oh yeah, I did it. I did it. But we had some good battles. Me and him. He's a great player, obviously, and I'm sure he's still playing pro somewhere.
I think he is playing in Finland right now, actually. Yeah. And I know some of my favorites were when Isaac Nurse and Will Bitten would throw it into his corner, and battles that those guys would have. Just watching the size difference. I know from being on the other side of that as a defenseman, I'd see a forward your size throw it into my corner, and my thought was, "Oh, this is going to hurt." That's all right.
That's always fun. That's always fun.
2021, we're coming out of a year like nobody has ever seen. 2021, it looks like we're going to start getting things back on track here. The NHL looks like January 13th is going to be the start. The AHL returning. The ECHL, I believe, just started. The OHL has February 4th in its sights. What's on next for you, Mac, in terms of camp and getting to Chicago? And because it's going to be a shortened camp this year, so I imagine it's going to be a real sprint.
Yeah. It's I think for me, we're gonna be finding out coming up soon. Maybe even as early as tomorrow on whether we can go back. I don't know how the camps are gonna work. I don't know if they're bringing everyone to camp. Like I don't know. Just because it's only 10 days and then they're right into the season. There's no game exhibition games or anything anymore. So we'll see. I'm hoping to find out soon. On when we're going to go back, and I'm just excited, honestly, just to get back and start playing some hockey again. It's been a while, and obviously I had that experience in the bubble where I could go there and kind of watch the NHL and see how the games play, be able to practice with some of the star players, and so I'm looking forward to getting back out there and hopefully making this Chicago Blackhawks team.
Nick Camano said the weirdest thing about being in the bubble was that playing for the Dallas Stars, you get on the elevator and he'd be riding the elevator with Victor Hedman and Tyler Johnson, and how strange that would be. That had to be a little bit different. That we're going against these guys, but they're at the next table at dinner.
Yeah, it was, for me, it was kind of cool. I didn't play, right. So it was more of just seeing everyone, and it was pretty cool. You get all these high level athletes and all combined in one little space. It was fun. You see some guys getting their donuts at the Tim Hortons drive through, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I didn't think he ate like that. But no, everyone, it was fun, and you got to talk to a lot of the players, a lot of the coaches. Pierre McGuire was there, all the refs were there, so it was a fun little spot to be, and for me, being so young, it was a great experience.
Will Bitten says, great pick, Macker. Love hitting that guy. Obviously referring to Emily Rassinen. And yeah. Will Bitten, man, you talk about a guy who had no fear going into that corner.
Yeah. Bitsy was awesome. Bitsy was being a smaller guy, even him and Morsey, being smaller guys, they played like they were 6'3" and 6'3", 220, and I played against Bitsy a couple times this year in Iowa, and he had a great season. So, I look forward to seeing him in the future and staying in contact with him for sure.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of guys on that 2018 Bulldogs team that are right at the edge of becoming full-time NHL guys, and that's going to be fun when we get to look back at that. Stephanie says, it was awesome to catch up with you when Rockford came to Belleville. You're such a great person to get to know over your 4 junior years, and we look forward to seeing you and following your career. That's one thing, Mac, and as we start to wrap this thing up, the fan support that you got right from day one in Hamilton that's followed you all the way through from the Bulldogs to Team Canada to Guelph, now into the pros, that's got to be pretty cool to see the impact that you made in the community here. Oh, for sure. And Stephanie and her husband, I still remember when we played in Belleville, and I saw them after the game. They stuck around and came and said hi to me after the game. It was, like you said, for me, it's awesome to see the support, and not only growing up from Hamilton, even when I was playing in Guelph, when I got traded to Guelph after, our 2018 team, and I got traded to Guelph and go on another run, there was, I'll never forget, I'm lined up as in the offensive zone, and Suzuki's taking the draw, and Ratcliffe's on the other side, and I see, I'm looking across, and in the stands, there's two Bulldog jerseys, and like all the way around there's Bulldog jerseys, and we weren't even playing. And so that support from all the fans and all the people of Hamilton, I thank everyone, and it's been awesome for sure throughout my whole career. You had an incredible junior career. It was a pleasure to get to be the play-by-play guy for the majority of it. And that 2018 team, obviously something none of us is ever going to forget. The one thing that I bugged you about last year when I saw you in the stands at Bulldog training camp, I still got to get a signed puck or something from you to put up in the studio down here. I got Stromer, Gleason, Bitten sending one, and I got to get an Entwistle to complete the look down here. I got the bobblehead over in the corner, but we'll have to get that done, and I hope that we'll see you around the rink once we can all get back to it. Mac, it's been so great to catch up with you. Yeah, of course, Reader, anytime. It's been great to, like you said, to catch up with you and to talk about all these amazing memories. And hopefully one day I see everyone again back in Hamilton. And it was a pleasure doing this for sure. All right. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, Mac. And as we head out, one more time, the holiday 50-50 for the Hamilton Bulldogs.
Hey, Hamilton. It's Dane Evans here from the Ticats. I know these are unprecedented times, and it's very important to keep our schools open so our children can continue to learn. The Bulldogs Foundation has been feeding kids in Hamilton's high-need schools for over a decade, and right now this program is even more important than ever before. Please consider donating to their holiday 50-50 raffle at bulldogs5050.com if you can. And as always, stay safe, God bless you and your families, and go Ticats.